All right, strap in, everyone, because today we're going deep into the world of AI and how it's changing logistics, especially for companies managing fleets of vehicles.
Okay.
Like trucks and buses.
Right.
We're going to be focusing on this company called Boone.
Okay.
They just raised a bunch of money
Oh, wow.
to make things easier for fleet managers using something called
I'm intrigued.
agentic AI.
Agentic AI.
Yeah, agentic AI.
Okay, and you said they just raised money.
Yeah, like $20.5 million.
Wow. That's a good chunk of change.
It is.
So what's the big idea here? Like, what are they actually doing?
Well, they're trying to be like
Okay.
the second employee in the back office for these
The
companies.
second employee.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So basically acting as this tireless digital assistant.
Okay.
They're not trying to replace the humans.
Oh, gotcha.
They're just trying to help them.
Augment them.
Exactly.
So before we get into the specifics of Boone, can you paint a picture of the industry itself? Like, why is this such a big deal?
Well, think about it. Globally, there are over 60 million fleet vehicles on the road.
Wow.
And the vast majority of those are owned by small to medium-sized enterprises.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times they're juggling mountains of paperwork,
Oh, I can imagine.
multiple different software systems.
Yeah.
It's very inefficient.
Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare.
It is. It's like having way too many tabs open
Oh, I hate that.
on your computer.
Yeah, exactly.
So on average, we're talking 15 to 20 different software applications for a single company.
Per one company.
For one company.
Gosh, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
So how's Boone trying to simplify this?
Well, they're basically creating this connective layer
Okay.
that sits on top of all those existing systems.
Oh, okay.
So whether it's,
Yeah.
TMS platforms, fuel card providers,
Right.
even those emails from drivers,
Yeah.
Boone's AI can extract all that relevant data and then automate those tasks that would normally take up a human employee's time.
That sounds like a huge time saver,
Oh, it is.
especially for those smaller companies
Absolutely.
who might not have
Yeah.
like a whole back office staff.
Exactly. And clearly this is resonating with investors.
Oh, so.
After only 9 months, they've already hit a $1 million annual revenue run rate.
Wow, 9 months.
9 months, they're servicing 35,000 drivers
Okay.
and 10,000 vehicles.
That's impressive,
It is.
especially for such a young company.
It's very young.
So it sounds like there's a huge need
Oh, yeah.
in the market for this kind of solution.
There is.
So we've got this fragmented industry
Yeah.
crying out for more efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Boone stepping in with their AI-powered solution.
Yes.
Can you give us some specific examples of what this agentic AI actually does?
So imagine something like order data entry.
Huh?
Instead of someone manually inputting information
Okay.
from emails and documents, Boone can do it automatically. It extracts the data, plugs it into the right systems.
So no more like
Right.
copying and pasting for hours.
No more of that.
Oh, that's great.
And the same goes for other things, like finding and assigning loads to drivers.
Okay.
The AI can look at data from load boards, driver availability,
Right.
and make the best decisions, keep everyone in the loop.
So it's like a super efficient employee
That's the idea.
that never takes a break
Uh-huh.
and never asks for a raise.
And never asks for a raise.
That's amazing.
It is. And it's not just about automating those tasks.
Okay.
It's also about improving communication transparency,
Which leads to...
which leads to happier drivers, happier customers.
Absolutely. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
Are there other companies out there
Yeah.
trying to address these same challenges?
There are. So there's this company called Knightsbridge AI,
Knightsbridge AI.
and they're building something called a model as a service
Model as a server.
for ground transportation,
Okay.
including bus operators. And they're trying to automate almost everything from safety compliance to accounting.
So it's kind of a similar concept to Boone,
It is.
but maybe with a broader scope.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
They're still pretty early, but they're hoping to scale up soon.
I see. Are there any others?
There are others, like Manifold Autos,
Manifold autos. Okay.
and they're focusing on the insurance side of things.
Oh, interesting.
So they're pulling API data from various telematics companies
Okay.
and consolidating it into one platform that the insurance industry can use.
So like a streamlined solution?
Yeah, exactly like an omni-channel solution for the insurance world.
That's cool.
It is.
I like that.
So back to Boone for a second.
Okay.
Their recent funding round of $20.5 million was led by some pretty big names,
Like who?
like Marathon and Redpoint.
Oh, wow.
So what do you think attracted these investors to their approach?
Well, I mean, the traction that they've gained in such a short amount of time is impressive.
It is.
And they're clearly filling a need in the market. So it's not just about automating what already exists.
Right.
This agentic AI has the potential to completely change how these companies operate.
Exactly. So imagine a future where AI is proactively identifying opportunities,
Okay.
optimizing routes, mitigating risks before they even occur.
That's a powerful vision.
It is.
But before we go too far into the future,
Yeah.
let's dig into the specifics of how Boone is achieving these results.
Sure.
What kind of technology are they using?
Yeah, like how is this all working?
Yeah, what's under the hood?
Let's explore that.
Okay, so let's take a peek under the hood here
Okay.
and see what's powering all this innovation.
Yeah, how are they actually doing this?
Well, their platform relies on using APIs
Okay.
to connect to all those different software applications that these companies use.
Like what kind of applications are we talking about?
Things like TMS platforms,
Okay.
load boards, fuel card providers, telematics systems.
So they're not replacing those systems.
No.
They're just connecting to them.
Exactly. They're creating a central hub that can talk to all of them.
Okay, and how does machine learning fit into all of this?
So imagine a fleet manager.
Okay.
They're manually going through emails, spreadsheets,
Right.
all these different dashboards,
Yeah.
trying to keep track of orders, schedules, driver assignments.
That sounds like a lot.
It's a ton of work. It's very error-prone.
I can imagine.
So Boone's machine learning algorithms basically take over that heavy lifting
Okay.
so they can automatically pull out that relevant information
From all those different sources.
from all these different sources, even unstructured data like emails and
Right.
documents.
Wow, so instead of a person spending hours on that,
Right.
Boone's AI can do it in, what, a fraction of the time?
Exactly. And with way more accuracy.
So it's not just faster,
Uh-huh.
it's also more accurate.
It is. And the cool thing is these algorithms actually learn from the data over time,
So they're constantly getting smarter.
constantly getting smarter, constantly getting more efficient,
That's incredible.
which leads to some really cool features like predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance? What's that?
So the AI can analyze telematics data
Oh.
and actually anticipate potential vehicle problems before they happen.
So you're moving from reactive to proactive.
Exactly. You're fixing things before they break.
That's a game changer.
It is. It really shows how this agentic AI can change not just tasks,
Right.
but entire business processes.
So we talked about Knightsbridge earlier.
Yeah.
They're doing this model as a service.
Right.
How is that different from what Boone is doing?
So they're both using AI to make things run smoother,
Okay.
but Knightsbridge is trying to handle almost every aspect of a transportation business.
So like the entire back office.
Yeah, like a fully outsourced AI-powered back office.
Wow.
They integrate with things like Samsara, Geotab for vehicle telematics,
Yeah.
HubSpot for sales and marketing, even QuickBooks for accounting.
So it's a full package deal.
It is. It's for those companies that really want to offload all of those operational headaches.
And they're focusing specifically on ground transportation.
They are, especially bus operators.
Okay, so a niche within a niche.
Exactly. But they are still early stages.
Makes sense.
So it'll be interesting to see how they grow and compete with companies like Boone.
Yeah, competition is good, right?
Competition is always good. It drives innovation.
Exactly.
And speaking of innovation, we can't forget about Manifold Autos.
Right, the insurance company.
Yeah, they're using AI in a different way.
So we talked about how they're creating this platform for insurance companies to access all that telematics data.
Right.
How does that work?
So imagine insurance companies.
Okay.
They want to move beyond those traditional risk assessments.
You know, like just looking at demographics of vehicle types.
Exactly. They want to see how people are actually driving.
Right.
So Manifold pulls data from all these different telematics companies
Okay.
and puts it in one place for insurance companies to use.
So instead of each insurance company going to each telematics company,
Yeah,
Manifold is the middleman.
exactly. It's that omni-channel approach.
Okay. But how does that translate into better insurance products?
Well, for one thing, you get more accurate risk assessments.
Yeah.
So by looking at things like speed, braking patterns, even location,
Right.
insurance companies can tailor premiums to individual driver behavior.
So safer drivers get better rates.
Exactly. It's a fairer system.
It makes sense.
And it goes beyond just setting rates.
Okay.
They can also use this data to offer personalized driver coaching programs.
So it's not just about punishing bad drivers.
No.
It's about making everyone better.
It's about helping everyone improve and become safer drivers.
Wow, that's really cool.
It is. It's all thanks to this clever use of data and AI.
It's incredible to see how technology is changing these industries.
It really is. And it's not just about efficiency.
Right.
It's about creating new possibilities.
Like making the road safer.
Exactly. Or giving smaller companies a chance to compete.
But before we wrap up, I want to talk about the potential downsides. What are some of the challenges we should be thinking about as AI gets more powerful?
That's a great question, and definitely something we need to address. So we were talking about the potential downsides of all this AI.
Yeah, the challenge.
Because there are some, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the big one that everyone's talking about is job displacement.
Right.
People are worried that AI is going to take their jobs.
It's a valid concern.
It is,
Yeah.
especially in industries like logistics where a lot of those tasks
Yeah.
can be automated.
Right. But we also have to remember that AI can create new jobs, too.
So it's not about AI versus humans.
No.
It's about AI and humans.
Exactly.
Working together.
Working together in new ways.
So as AI takes over those routine tasks,
Yeah.
that frees up humans to focus on more strategic things.
Exactly.
The creative stuff, the interpersonal stuff.
The things that humans are really good at.
Right, like building relationships with clients, solving those really complex problems.
Absolutely.
So it's more like an evolution of the workforce.
Yeah.
Not a complete takeover.
Like that, an evolution.
But even with those new opportunities,
Right.
there's going to be a transition period.
There will be.
Where people need to adapt, learn new skills.
Absolutely.
So what are some of those areas where humans are still going to excel?
Well, anything that requires critical thinking,
Okay.
problem solving, creativity, emotional intelligence.
Those are the things that are really hard to automate.
They are, and humans are also much better at adapting to unexpected situations.
Right, like when things go wrong.
Exactly. We can make those judgment calls that AI just can't.
So instead of being afraid of AI,
Yeah.
we should see it as a tool to enhance what we already do well.
I agree. It's about embracing this idea of lifelong learning.
And being open to change.
Absolutely.
So beyond jobs, are there any other concerns?
Well, data privacy is a big one.
Okay.
These AI systems need a ton of data to work.
Right.
So we have to make sure that data is handled responsibly.
So strong security measures.
Yeah.
Transparency about how that data is being used.
Exactly. And we also need to be careful about bias.
Bias in the algorithms.
Yeah. If the algorithms are trained on biased data,
okay,
they can actually perpetuate those biases.
And that could lead to unfair decisions.
It could, which is why it's so important to have diverse teams developing these systems.
To catch those biases early on.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
We need to be having these conversations about the ethics of AI.
The bigger picture.
Yeah, and create guidelines to make sure it's being used for good.
So it sounds like we need everyone at the table.
We do. Technologists, policymakers, ethicists.
Everyone.
The future of AI is something we all have to shape together.
So for our listeners out there,
yeah,
what are the key takeaways from all of this?
I think the biggest one is that AI is not just some futuristic concept.
It's happening now.
It's happening now. It's already changing things.
And it's not all good or all bad.
Right. There are both challenges and opportunities.
We have to be realistic about that.
We do. And even though AI can automate a lot of things,
right,
those human skills are still going to be crucial.
Critical thinking, creativity.
All of that.
And ultimately, it's up to us to make sure that AI is being used ethically responsibly.
For the benefit of everyone.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
And I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
We have. There's so much more to explore.
But hopefully this has given our listeners a better understanding.
Yeah.
Of what's happening in the world of AI and logistics.
Absolutely. The possibilities are really exciting.
They are. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you on the next deep dive.